Welcome back to another episode of NFT Catcher Podcast. We'd like to remind everybody that nothing on the show is meant as financial advice, and to please do your own research. Thank you, and enjoy the show.
Now the subject is NFTs.
They're known as non-fungible tokens, or NFTs.
NFTs are exploding in popularity.
This is a technology that will forever change the way people interact.
So it is happening whether you understand it and like it or not.
This phenomenon is moving. The digital.
You have now joined Jenny from the Blockchain and Michael Keene on the NFT Catcher Podcast.
What's up, everyone, and welcome back to another episode of the NFT Catcher Podcast with me, Jenny from the Blockchain, and my co-host, Michael Keene. We have episode number 55 today, which means what, Michael?
That means, well, it's Gary Vee's favorite number. I sent him an invite and said, if you would like to surprise us, feel free.
We may or may not have a surprise appearance from Gary Vee. There's about a 99.9% chance he's not going to come, but there's that 0.01% chance that maybe he does pop in for this episode. So
that would be something. That would be.
Also, we didn't have an interview last week, or I guess this week, earlier on Wednesday, like we usually do. Our guest unfortunately got sick, and so we had to postpone that. But yes, we will have a guest next week. Don't worry.
Yeah. And then we're about a week and a half away from heading to Minneapolis.
Yes, VCon coming up real soon.
Yeah.
2 weeks out.
Yep.
Pretty crazy.
Yeah. So in the NFT space, this has been a pretty wild week. Sentiment's down. People are some people, this is the end, This is the great bear market of May 2022. I mean, everything's go ahead. Yeah.
I was just going to say, I had tweeted out because I was like, I haven't been super plugged in, What should we talk about on the episode? And a lot of people were like, can you talk about how we're now in the bear market? NFTs are going to zero. This is the end. Like, I was like, oh my God, what happened? So maybe we should definitely address, what's happening right now. A lot of projects are down. Mutants are down. They're cut in half, which I think a lot of people were using, the apes and the mutants as like their benchmark. And, a lot of people look to these big projects as like, okay, if those are doing well, then things are doing well. And when they drop in price, it's like, it can be scary for some people, especially if they're new or maybe they haven't experienced, dramatic declines in, price and don't really know what to expect, or maybe see a lot of tweets on Twitter about people freaking out, they're panicking. They're like, oh my God, maybe this really is the start of the bear market. And obviously nobody really knows what's going to happen. Right. But you have to understand that a lot of people just are highly emotional and, they just tweet out their thoughts. So, the best thing to do is step away from Twitter if, things are getting a little too negative on there for you. That's what I always do.
Yeah. No, I mean, lots of investments are down right now. The stock market's down. ETH is, as we do this on Sunday night, May 8th, ETH is about to creep under 2,500. That's not fun. So a lot of stuff is down. I actually pulled up flips.finance to put some numbers on a lot of this panic. So like, this is the percent change in the floor over the last 7 days. So other deeds are down 35%. The mutants are down 15%. But like you said, they were at a 41 high. They're down to a 21 floor. The apes are down 25% in the last week at a 99 floor, which went as high as 150. Doodles is down only 5% to 20. Doodles is doing well. Azuki's down 21%. Clone X is down 17%. The Moonbirds are down 31% in 7 days. And 2 weeks ago, do you remember we had at the end of the episode, we predicted what the price would be? And it was...
Oh, what did we predict?
So it was 33 at the time.
Yeah.
And I predicted like 35, 36, and you predicted 18, and it's at 22.79. So you crushed that one. Moonbirds, Meebits is down 30%. Cool Cats is 4.2 is down 30%. Cool Cats is
Cool Cats, that
crushed.
floor is getting, absolutely.
Yeah, it's
crushed.
yeah, for sure. They have a new CEO. Their CEO left. I don't think they brought in a new one yet. And then another thing.
Did they even have a CEO to begin with? They did, right?
They did.
Okay,
whoever that guy was, right? And he left. Yeah, for sure.
Got it.
So a lot of these, I mean, like, just their Cyber Brokers is down 10%. The Kennel Club is down 18%. VFriends is 0.6. If VFriends 2 is 0.66, the main VFriends is down as low as it's been, and as long as I can remember, at a 7.74.
Okay, so why is everything down? That's the real question.
That's the question. You know, everything is speculation, and people for a long time were looking for a vibe, and things would just go up based on that, and but now it's kind of, there've been there was the Pixelmons of the world, and a lot of these quote unquote, not rugs or whatever it is, where things just, they don't have a real business plan. So people are looking for projects with a business plan. Some of the things that are doing well are like these utility tokens. It's not even art. It's just, the pre-mint pass and the something token. And there's a lot of these different ones like that are doing well. Why is it going down? I can't say for sure, but it's not scaring me, because I'm not sitting here thinking NFTs might die. Many of the projects might not ever get back to where they were. And we've talked about this many times, that over time, and who knows, you never know when it's going to happen or what's going to happen. Or we've also seen these turn around on a dime, and next week something could happen. But there's so many projects, and there's such a glut, that we knew that lots of these projects were not going to make it. And if you don't make it and there's nothing going on, a lot of them are going to go to zero. They're just going to be, there's not going to be liquidity there to sell.
Yeah. And I think that, I think people think about NFTs going to, because it's there's a lot of, Gary Vee has said, 99% of projects go to zero. And I think everyone kind of thinks of it as all at once, there's going to be this huge bear market. Everything all at once is going to go to zero. And then, some things will survive. I think it'll happen in waves. Everything will kind of have its time. And I don't think it's going to be super dramatic to where literally everything all at once. I think it'll be kind of somewhat gradual. And maybe this is the start of something. I don't know, but I do know that we have experienced this exact type of thing several times before. Yeah. I mean, those of the listeners that have been listening to our podcast from the start have probably heard of several times where we brought up, oh my God, it feels like there's about to be a bear market, or everyone's, the sentiment's really low. And so this is just another one of those times. And to me, I maybe I've just been through a lot of those phases and cycles to where I'm not feeling affected, or maybe I just haven't been on Twitter enough to feel affected. But it doesn't seem like the end to me. I don't know. I just kind of feel like this just seems like another bump in the road. And like you said, some things won't make it past this little bump. Some things will.
And there'll be new things that'll crush it. There'll be, if you still have your finger on the pulse and you believe in the technology, there's nothing to be worried about. I mean, hopefully we're not over leveraged, because there are some people, if you would have spent, all your ETH on these high risk projects, there are probably people that are scared right now. And I understand that, there's probably people that are in a bad way financially from it, because it's pretty nasty. ETH went from 30, the people that were Thanksgiving, I was begging my family to buy ETH at 4,000,
Oh my God, no.
all that stuff.
That's the hard thing about recruiting.
Right.
Yeah. It's and I do feel like I often, I don't really talk to many people about NFTs unless they're into NFTs, because it's so hard to get somebody into something, and then it's and then it's that liability of oh my God, they put money into this and now it's not doing well, and it's just that's not ideal. But I was just thinking the other day, I was there's a lot of people making a lot of money in the space, and there's also a lot of people that aren't, and I think people kind of forget that a lot of people aren't making money in NFTs. I would almost
Yeah.
go as far as to say most people aren't making money in
Yep.
NFTs. I would even say that most people are probably losing money in NFTs. I would just, because I see things and I hear things and people message me all the time and I kind of realize that, we're not exactly early anymore. Maybe we are in terms of how much we can really do with this technology, but not in terms of financially making a ton of money, like super easily. Of course, there's still going to be money to be made in the space. Of course, there will still be projects that do amazing. People will do really well, but I don't think it's as easy as we kind of make it out to be. Sometimes you ever just read tweets and you're just a lot of these people already made their money. People getting into the space now, it is not going too well for them. It's just really not.
Right. They've had a rough few weeks. A pattern I've noticed is these projects sell out. They go up to whatever they go up to, 0.2, 0.3, 0.5, 1 ETH, and they just, however far they make it, and then it just comes down, 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 down. Even really good projects, some of our friends that put out projects, it's just the people they just lose interest and move on to the next thing. And you try
it's the thing of trying to flip and trying to make money,
right?
Which is that's the thing.
It's like a race not to be the last one holding it.
Yeah, I just wish people would when they buy something, it's they want to have it, they want to keep it. That's why they buy it, not because they don't even care about the project. They're just trying to make money. That is not sustainable. If everyone has that mindset, that's not ideal at all.
It's impossible to sustain. That you actually make a great point there. And I've thought about that a lot this week. If you're going to put on a project right now, if you're someone that's looking to put on your project, launch your project, first of all, it's probably not a great time to launch. You might want to wait a month. I don't know. I wouldn't love to launch a project right now, but what you need to do is, we use that term, build a community, but not just get a bunch of people hyped up. That's not a community. Have a purpose for them to want to be there and to want to be included. Have some kind of purpose behind your community. And what are you guys there for? What are your shared interests? What are you doing? What's keeping them there? That's really important. Something to think about for anybody dropping a project. You have to avoid losing your community and having it go down to 0.02. You have to have,
or your community turning their back on you and getting mad and being
right. What are you doing?
Can you do something? And that is geez, I feel for the teams behind these projects that are actually building and actually trying. It's damn. And then people, all they see is the price and maybe they're not willing to be patient, or maybe just the vocal ones are the ones that are frustrated, right? Usually that's the case.
Yeah.
So
you need to get those, even if it's 500 or 1,000 people that are in it for the project, like you said, because they want to have it, not because of what the floor price is, because they want to be part of it. You need to build that up. If you're just going after the FOMO hype, you'll probably sell out. And then it'll do what it does for a few days, and then it'll just, nobody's going to want to buy, it's going to come down. I've watched a lot of these shoot up and shoot back down a lot recently.
Yeah, it can be scary. It can be scary for sure. If, a lot of your money is
I've actually watched, I've watched them because I've actually bought a couple of them that went up and went straight down,
Yep.
But not the greatest time, a couple of them. It's not the best flipping time at the moment.
Maybe we should bring up some of these projects.
Los Muertos, that one? That one
I saw it for 1 day on Twitter.
And right. And that's when I bought it, when it was getting hot, and then it's not. What was another one? I bought that something token way too high. And it came back down. I still think that'll end up being good. There was another one that I bought, Ugly People by it's actually kind of cool. What's this one? Yeah, Ugly People. And it's a legit artist. Ugly People by Tori Alba. And it was looking good. It was high. Now it's down to 05. The art's actually cool. I only bought one, but I probably bought it at like 0.2 because it looked like it was doing its thing. It had some of those signs, like the people talking about it on Twitter, and there was a Twitter space, and like it just did its thing. But it's one of those ones. So I have a few that I haven't like buried myself, but definitely a couple ones that a reminder, like don't buy, try and get in earlier.
Right.
Yeah. There's
okay, well, I guess that's kind of our piece. I kind of wanted to pivot that to, okay, if you do think that this is just, a dip, a little bump in the road, and boom, maybe things start popping off again. What are some things that you're kind of looking at? Maybe are you buying anything right now that you're like, I kind of feel like, prices are pretty low for this. I know off air you talked about you're talking about you're buying some VeeFriends 2s.
VeeFriends is the biggest one I'm buying right now. It's in the 0.6s, the high 0.6s. And like, if there's anybody to bet on in the space, it's Gary. There's 55,000 of them, so it's going to take a little bit, but there has been zero utility announced. And like, do you not think he's going to get that one going at some point? Like, I can only imagine.
I did today. I actually listened to the, I think it's called Impossible, like Logan Paul's.
Impulsive.
Impulsible. Okay. Logan Paul's like podcast show, and he was on it, and it was like a whole 2-hour thing. I was on a road trip, so I was like, well, I might as well listen to this. And he was saying, so Logan was like, oh, you're gonna come out with VeeFriends Series 3, and he's like kind of like, yes, eventually, but he's not thinking about that right now. Right now he's thinking about, okay, how do I get people to pay attention to my VeeFriends Series 2? So, he's thinking about it. So yeah, I'm not sure what he'll bring to it, but yeah, you're right. He's done a lot of things in the past, and he's he's a credible dude. So I actually have enough ETH for once to buy. So the floor is 0.685, and I do actually have it. I would be using like all of my ETH, but I don't know. Maybe I should put a WETH offer, a low ball WETH offer.
You know how much I dislike giving people advice, but there's actually a couple people that have been asking me, and I'm like, honestly, right now it's probably, with ETH at 2483, it went down since we've been on the air. I would. Like that's one I would suggest. Like I don't have a problem suggesting like how, because he's not gonna let it go to zero. And I don't know. I mean, it might go down a little bit. It's hard to guess the exact bottom. It might go down into the 0.5.
Right.
And honestly, I'll keep buying because I just, like I don't want to look back and regret and be silly like when it's 3 or 4 ETH in 10 months from now,
Not financial advice.
Not financial. Never. But like that's, and there's some other ones. We always talk about Smileverse. Like, I don't know what's going to, who knows what'll happen in the future. I still think that project is going to go. And I think Wahid's going to be a star. That's like 0.39 now, which is crazy.
Oh my God, I literally bought the top of Smiles. That's so.
Yeah. Well, no, it got up to 2 ETH. So you didn't buy the top.
Okay. Well, I bought a local top. I bought the last local top.
Yeah, you bought the last local top, and that makes me feel horrible. It really does.
No, it's fine. Honestly, I only think about it when you bring up Smileverse and the price, and then I'm like, oh, that's right, I have that, and I bought it. I recently bought a Fuck Avatar, which
smart. Yep.
Yes, Fuck Render was actually supposed to be our last guest, but he got sick. So hopefully we get him on for next week. But if not, we'll have someone else. But I bought a Fuck Avatar. They're down. They had gone all the way up to like 0.8. Anyway, they're down to like right now the floor is 0.143. Yeah. I had bought mine, I think, for 0.15 a couple days ago. I think they look super, super cool. And I have been a fan of Fuck Render for a while. And so I've wanted a piece of his, but those Fuck crystals, back when I was looking at them, they were going for multiple ETH, and his stuff, some of his stuff goes for a lot. So I was kind of priced out. So I was happy to be able to get a piece just to kind of hold on to and have. So I am happy about that purchase.
That could end up looking really good. When I think about the deals in the space, the fuck render stuff is one of those ones because he's not just dropping out there. He is still building. If you read his tweets, he talks about that. I'm definitely excited to chat it up with him. 0.143 is a really good price. It feels like.
Yeah. I'm like, you know what? I just, I don't really care if the price goes down more or if it goes up because, as you know, I'm mostly a holder these days. But I just want to have, a fuck render piece. So I'm really happy about that.
I hear that. Yeah, for sure. I was in and out of the crystals a couple times when it was in the 2.5 ETH. I was definitely in and out of that a couple times and had fun with it. Yeah, I was looking at I've been looking at these avatars a lot. Because that price is really nice. And
you have any?
Have that. No, not yet. I don't.
I
know. I should buy a couple. I don't want to just buy one. I hate buying one of something.
Really? Why?
Because then you can't sell it. So
that's why I like buying one of something because I can't sell it.
If you buy two and it crushes it, you get all your money back with the one of them that you don't like as much.
Yeah.
I don't know.
You're right.
One hurts me, because I'm like, even if I make an amazing move, you don't want to give it up. Yeah, but I love your style of doing it. That's why I knew, the Cool Cats floor, you're not going to be devastated because it's.
I was like, literally, I was like, Cool Cats, 4.5 ETH. Wow,
right?
That's kind of low, but I didn't really care. I was just like, whatever. I mean, obviously, I'm glad I didn't buy it when it was 10. Obviously, I would probably feel bad maybe if I bought it at 10.
Well, what if you bought it at 9? What if you bought it at 9 on live?
Wait, you bought yours for 9?
Remember on air, live on air
for 9 ETH?
It was 9.
I forgot how much it was. I forgot.
And it went up to as high as 15. For sure.
And then I convinced you to not sell it. Oh God. Okay.
I knew I should have sold that at 15.
Oh man. Never listen to me, folks.
That's fine. Cool Cats. Do you say you are a cool cat or you have a cool cat?
I say I have a cool.
Yeah. Are there any of them because people say people that are punks, they are punks.
Oh yeah. I'm not. I am my doodle.
I'm an ape. Okay, but are there any? There's a difference, right? You have there's a difference in projects.
I never say I am, mostly because I'm not anonymous. Maybe if I was anonymous and that's I don't know, maybe I'll be I am my doodle, but it's I'm not completely attached to my doodle. Yeah. I know that maybe someday there's a chance that I will let it go. It's not I'm I will keep this forever. It's I would like to, but I might let it go.
You might want 60 grand in your pocket. Yeah.
I just might
you might one day want that. Yeah.
Oh, and speaking of doodles, we have 2 pieces of news. I'll let you say the other one, but I will say this one that just came out 3 hours ago. Doodles announced that on May 12th, every doodle holder will be able to claim a duplicator, which is a functional piece of doodle machinery with extraordinary powers. That's really all we know. I'm pretty pumped about it. This is the first time doodle holders are actually able to get something because, as you know, they've really just done you can wrap and make it a space doodle, but no real way for doodle holders to take profit without selling their doodles. So I guess, maybe this is some people's chance. I'm not sure I'm not sure what I'm going to do with mine because I don't even know what it is. So I got to figure that out first.
Yeah.
But I am very excited about that. So yeah.
Yeah. I wish I was a doodle. That's cool. No, that's really cool. That's exciting for you guys to get something.
And what's the other piece of Doodles news?
The other piece of Doodles news is they have a new CEO. They appoint the former president of Billboard, Julian Haugen, as a new partner and CEO. And he, talked about they're going to, bring the IP up and get into music and culture and entertainment.
Yeah, it said they had said Julian will work alongside the founders to expand Doodle's IP throughout music, gaming, and entertainment while deeply integrating culture into the product. So that's really interesting. Music, and made me think music, what are the possibilities with that? What is going to happen? Obviously, things take time, but I'm willing to be patient. So I'm curious. I'm curious on that. For sure.
Yeah. Doodles actually has a lot of notable collectors. There's a list here in the article. Justin Bieber, Future, Gary Vee, Snoop Dogg, Fat Joe, Kygo, Diplo, Steve Aoki, Pranksy. All the EDM guys are into NFTs, aren't they? Kygo, Diplo. Diplo. What's his name?
Diplo, yeah, Diplo.
Diplo, yeah. Sorry. Whoops. Showing my age.
No, you're good. Yeah, that is exciting. I mean, Steve Aoki, I know he's into a ton of NFTs. So
yeah, he is. Yeah. They call him like the top signal whenever he buys into something. Have you heard that?
Yeah.
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 He has his own platform. We talked about it. It's coming out, I think, this week, actually. I should have pulled it up. Odd Key with him and Todd McFarlane. They have like their own platform dropping.
Oh, NFT? Like, what do you mean?
Yeah,
platform?
NFTs. Yeah, I think it's like they're selling NFTs on there.
Oh, like a looks rare type of thing?
No. More probably like a VV-ish, like.
Oh, okay.
The Amazing World of Odd Key is coming soon. 6,666 winners. Yeah, I mean, this might be just like avatars. I don't even know the blockchain. I really should. Go Magic Eden page. No, it must be Solana. If there's a link to Magic Eden.
Interesting.
Select wallet, Phantom. Yep. Yeah, it's going to be on Solana, but it's Aoki and Todd McFarlane, the comic book creator. We talked about this when they first announced it months ago, and I didn't know too much. I just kind of read an article about it, but something to keep an eye on, especially if you're into Solana. I am going to vow to get into Solana NFTs this week. And at least
I don't believe you. You've vowed a million times.
No, this is the time I'm really going to do it.
Play back all the times of Michael saying, "Oh, I'm going to look into Solana."
I always said I should. Now this week I am.
Okay, folks, you heard it here first.
I'm going to set up my wallet. I think I have to bridge some ETH from Ethereum to Solana, right? Is that what you do?
I honestly forgot what I did because I know I have a Phantom wallet and I have some Solana NFTs, but I literally forgot. I just was like, Steph, help me figure this out. And then she did.
Yeah.
So
no, it's time. It's time. There's a lot going on. They come out super cheap.
Okay, here's what we'll do. We'll get somebody from Solana, maybe like the most popular project or something, and we'll get them to come on, and then that'll force us to like.
Yeah, that's a good idea. Or like a really good Solana trader.
A good Solana trader, someone actually making money on Solana.
Yeah, or maybe both. Maybe both. Well, the episode could have like 45 minutes with a trader and 45 minutes with a project, like a sole episode. Everyone's been asking us to do more about Solana. It'd be fun. It'd be fun, maybe.
That would be.
But we will see. Yeah. So Odd Key, we were talking about. Yeah, because we brought up Steve Aoki. But yeah, no, the Doodles with the new CEO. You know, they're on the right track. Their floor hasn't gotten crushed, and you'll probably have another little pump up to the. What'd you say? May 12th.
May 12th. Yeah.
So usually there's a little.
I've been also update. Somebody also had tweeted out that, thanks to me kind of reminding about this on the podcast, they have been doing this as well. But basically, like I mentioned before, on Looks Rare, which now I use Looks Rare. Like, I'm a huge fan of it. I use it more than OpenSea as a marketplace. And you can actually earn rewards. So they have a token, the Looks token, just by listing your NFTs if they're in the top 25, like one of the top 25 collections. So my Cool Cat and my Doodle, I've been listing daily, and I have the listings expire every day, and I check on them multiple times a day to make sure that they're not going to sell, because I'm not trying to sell my Doodle or Cool Cat. I'm just trying to accumulate some tokens. But yeah, so they just changed it actually. So now you have to list it within 1.4 times the floor. Whereas before it was 1.5 times. So, they're kind of cutting it down a little bit. But I've earned 221 Looks tokens so far, which currently is $268.
Cool.
So pretty solid, not bad.
Yeah, for not buying or selling anything. Yeah, nothing wrong with that.
Yeah. So that's been exciting and fun for me.
Yeah, you did say that, and that's actually a really cool thing they have. And I I think if you list it closer to the floor, like 1.1, you earn more rewards.
Yeah, they just changed it to that as well. When
Yeah.
yeah. If you list it closer to the floor, then then it's like, oh my god, it might literally sell like.
I know at that price, yeah, you're about to sell, and especially when they see it's held by you. You know, it's like a that's like a provenance.
From the blockchain.
Right.
Imagine my doodle sells. No, like I'd have to
Right.
I have like a picture of my doodle like in my room.
I
I'd have to,
know
like,
your
throw it
doodle's
away.
awesome with the hard eyes. That's with the purple hair. I mean, come on.
I mean, come on, you know.
Yeah, come on.
Come on. Although to be fair, if mine sold and it was like for example, if mine was listed for 30 ETH and the floor was 20, I could probably just like buy a floor one. Like
Right.
I'd probably just buy back.
Make the money and buy a floor one. Yeah.
Yeah, maybe, but I would need to get a purple hair, so I would have to hope there's purple hair on the floor.
Yeah, you need a purple hair. That one's a nice one. That's a nice one. With the hard eyes are really
Yes.
cool with those two big
Thank
wide
you,
hard
thank
eyes.
you.
Yeah. It's a good one.
I have a rug of it actually. Oh, sorry,
really?
I just
No, you're good. Yeah.
someone this rug company basically they like reached out to me and like wanted to make me a rug
Really?
of my doodle. Yeah, months ago, and it
Yeah.
actually took a while because it's like a whole process to make like a rug. And yeah, I have a rug of my doodle. It's pretty cool.
That's incredible. That's cool. That's cool. They reached out to you. Yeah. I have one of those Bored Ape rugs coming, but I had to pay for that with Ape coin.
Nice.
Did you hear about the 15-year-old kid? It sounds like it's pretty
I read the thread.
legitimized. Yeah.
I read the thread.
Okay.
I don't know, it's like you're not sure you're not sure if you can 100% believe it,
Right,
or if it's actually a 15-year-old kid. But, if it is true, then that's really impressive and also like insane.
Yeah, kid from Indonesia. So what he did was it did two different things. The Takashi Murakami flowers that we brought up a long time ago, we talked about a few times, it did end up being really, really good. He, I guess, wrote a bot to like enter the raffle like 117,000 times.
Well, he basically was able to make like a bajillion different emails and like have
exactly.
Yeah.
So he did that, smart on him, and
Game
then
the system.
Yeah, and it did something similar with the other deeds. I don't know how we got all the KYC wallets, but he ended up with, he had more land than Dingaling. This kid is what they said happened.
Yeah.
So and made $17 million or something in the last couple months.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that was a crazy thread to read through. And that guy Zach BXT or something, I forget his name exactly, but that he's always like looking into things. He's kind of like the detective of the NFT space.
Yeah, and he's the one that kind of said it was legit.
He confirmed it. Yeah, he was like, "This is legit."
Yeah.
Well, we don't know if it's actually a kid that's 15 years old, but the actual yes, they gamed the system and were able to get all this. And yes, they are actually, one of the top holders of the other deed land. Like, yes, this is true. So it was like, it seemed like it was like he was fact checking and it was like, yeah, like this looks legit. And everyone was like, what? Oh my God, this is crazy.
Yeah.
But of course, people are going to figure out how to game the system, I mean, naturally.
Always in every industry, every single place, people figure out how to game the system.
Always. Mm-hmm.
I guess it's up to these devs to try and figure it out. I think the Murakami flowers had other issues too. I think like a lot of the rare ones went to the team.
Really?
There were a couple problems. I heard a couple things that wasn't great, but that's a pretty wild story about that kid or whoever it is getting all that stuff. And pretty wild. We got a list here, the chimpers that we were talking about. I'm not sure if you kept your eye on that. I remember Franklin told us about it.
I do remember
one
Franklin
of the artists from the Nouns.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So I've been keeping my eye, and they have a few projects where you can get in a raffle. There's like 8 projects now, and I had 2 of them, Pixel Vault Founders DAO and Bored Apes. So I have a chance to get on the whitelist, hopefully. But that's going to be a good project if anybody can get on that, the chimpers. We have my friend Carrie Ross. You probably don't know Carrie, do you?
I'm thinking of somebody else just comes to mind. No, I don't know Carrie Ross.
Okay. Yeah. She's awesome. I mean, she's one of the Clubhouse people that, she's 72 years old, but she is a degen at heart. She's been
72 years old
in the NFT space. She's an artist. Yeah, she's so cool. And she's had a few projects, but she dropped like kind of her biggest project, these Aigsley's, and it's 1,000 pieces, and she's only selling them for 0.02. And she did it over the weekend. It's cool. I got 3 of them. They're really, really cool. Carrie's just
did it sell out and everything?
No, it didn't sell out. Didn't sell out.
Are they still available?
Yeah, they're still
Maybe
available.
I can get one.
Maybe you can. That'd be really cool.
What is it?
She had
Aigsley?
Yeah, Aigsley.io is the website, and you can. She like did it all by herself. She did all the art generation by herself, and she had a Twitter space on. Maybe it was Saturday, answering all kinds of questions and talking to everybody. Like, she's really great. She's got a bunch of. She doesn't. I don't think she lets people know what NFT she has, but she has some really good NFTs as well. Like, she's really smart, and she's been in art for decades. She lives out in LA, and just, she was always in those clubhouse rooms, and everybody loves Carrie. So I was really happy to get a couple.
Interesting.
And be there to support. And anybody check it out. It's just her name on Twitter is Carrie Ross, KarrieRoss.
I see this site. It's like, it looks a little sus to me. But so I'm like trying to look on OpenSea, but let me find it on it.
I understand.
I always feel like, I'm just like.
No, for sure. It's definitely like she did. It's not like one of these professional, like she did it herself. Not that it's bad or whatever, but you're smart to not connect to any random website that anybody tells you. ETH is down to 24.43 right now. It's like tanking as we're going through our show. Jeez. Yeah.
Send it to 0. No, I'm just kidding. What did ETH go to? Okay, Carlini. He was talking about, remember we had Carlini on, which, by the way, you guys should listen back to that episode if you haven't already. He's like super OG in the space, has been here for forever, massive whale, and also is the founder of Penelope's Country Club. And he was saying, like, what was it? ETH was at like, what was it, 1,800 or something, and then it dropped all the way to like $80 or something crazy.
ETH went down like 85%, I think 3 times over the last 4 years or something. Like, it can happen. It can happen. Yeah, he's been part of those. Yeah. I mean, like, for me, I know that I'm in it for the long haul, and I'm not bugging out. I do think ETH will go back to 4,000 or 5,000 at some point. I think it's inevitable. I don't know when, but I really do believe that.
Okay, I found the Aigsley Series 1. So only 85 have minted, and you are one of 36 owners. And there's none listed yet.
Yeah.
So
nobody's listed. We're diving in.
Damn. Yeah. And there's apparently like an OG like Genesis collection of like 100.
There was, yeah.
Oh, there was? What happened to it?
Well, no, it's still there. There is.
Okay. There was. Also, nobody listed those either. So damn, people.
It's like a lot. It's like a lot of her friends that buy, the artists that are on Clubhouse, and like I could look through the list of owners and know most of the people. It's not one of these like high profile projects, but it's nice to shine a light because it's really cool.
Yeah, and that's super cool.
She's really cool.
72, like creating her own NFT project, like that's super inspiring, and that's amazing.
Yeah, she is amazing. Wow. She's really cool. She's fun, smart, knows a lot of people. Everybody likes Carrie. Yeah. And another person that released a project this week that's been, Nyla Hayes, the long necky ladies, long necky fellas. She released her long necky kids. Her biggest, most ambitious project, 10,000 pieces. I think it's over a quarter of the way sold out now. In a time when it's hard. Yeah, Nyla's awesome. She's 13 now. I heard her on a Twitter space with John Knopf and whoever else over, maybe it was Friday. And she's going to be a star. She's going to be like, everyone loves her. She was the first ever artist in residency at Time Magazine. Like she's going to keep doing really cool stuff. Hopefully they get through this collection because it's at a point right now where the price is a little bit below the mint price. It wasn't like
what's the mint price? Because the floor is 0.077.
The mint price is 0.88.
Okay.
So it's not super cheap. And I haven't bought one yet because of that, because I'm kind of waiting. I feel like I'm going to look when the reveal is and maybe try and snag some cheap ones before the reveal or right when the reveal happens, because it just seems like one of those like long term, it's probably going to do well because of who she is. But right now, you could probably get some deals, and I'm going to end up with some. I have 2 long necky ladies that I've had for probably 10 months now. I have 2 long necky fellas, and I'm definitely going to get some of these as well. I'm just waiting for the right time for myself.
Yeah. I remember Nyla, when she first came out with her first project, that was almost a year ago even, right? Like she's been in this space for a while, like, and she's been killing it.
She's been absolutely killing it. There's news articles about her. She's made like $3 million, like crushing it.
Yeah.
I actually we had a party on Saturday, and we're talking a lot about NFTs, and I brought her up because I just heard her on Twitter Spaces, and like it's a really inspiring story. I'm like, hey, this 13-year-old girl's made millions of dollars. Like, it's wild.
Amazing. Yeah. And NYLA collection, Nyla collection is her Twitter if you guys want to check her out.
Yeah, so we went from a 72-year-old woman to a 13-year-old woman, 13-year-old girl.
Nice.
Yeah. That's really cool for the space. Like those are 2 really great artists, and they should do a collab.
And happy Mother's Day. Today's Mother's Day on the time of this recording for any mothers out there.
Oh yeah, we should have said
into
that.
NFTs. Who have we had? I know we had Betty. Betty was our last guest, who is a mother of, I believe, 3 children. And she is also the founder of Dead Fellas. Why did I not think of it for a second? Dead Fellas. So yeah, but shout out to all the people, all the mothers in the NFT space.
Absolutely. And you as well. You're a cat mother.
I'm a cat. That's what my mom said. I called her. I was like, happy Mother's Day, Mom. She's like, happy Mother's Day to you too. You're a mom to 2 cats. Because I just got a second cat, by the way. I don't know if I told you
cool.
this.
No, I don't think so.
Oh, so I have Carlos, who is, I believe, almost 2 years old now, or maybe he just turned 2. I kind of forget when his birthday is. But anyway, and I just got a second cat, and her name is Daria. That was her name when we adopted her. And she's so sweet, and she's like 1 year old, maybe a little less. She's like a teenager, and she's just like, she loves affection, and she's like this black and white cat. Well, she's like black, and then she has like her paws are like white. She's like really pretty looking. And anyway, super excited to have I say a wife. My sister said, no, they're not married, they're siblings. Anyway, super excited to have a wife for Carlos.
That's hilarious. I'm gonna date myself again, but do you remember the MTV cartoon Daria?
Someone mentioned that to me, and I looked it up from the 80s.
It was, I think it was from the 90s, probably.
Oh, okay, the 90s. Okay.
Yeah.
I looked it up, and
it was really good. It was like dry humor, but it was really good.
Okay, yeah.
Really good.
1997, Daria. 5 seasons.
You like the 80s?
Sorry, I'm in the 90s.
That's okay.
I was born in 95, so I am a 90s.
Yeah, I know. Well, you know what's funny, and I think about this, like, so you were born in 95, which, you know, whatever it is, 26 years ago. So when I was growing up in the late 80s, 25 years ago was the mid 60s. Like, so like the music that like, that's weird to me that 25 years ago now is like the mid 90s.
And you know, what's even crazier is that kids nowadays, you know, being born, or even like 10-year-olds, it's like, everyone's born in the 2000s, and so being born in the 1900s, doesn't that seem like 1900s? Like if you're like an 18-year-old kid, you're like, what? Yeah. You were born in the 1900s?
Right. I was born in 1979 when Jimmy Carter was president.
Hey, let's go.
Yeah. Oh man.
So that means we're special.
That's all right.
We're born in the 1900s. We're special.
1900s, born in a different century.
I would imagine most listeners were born in the 1900s.
Yeah, we are. Spotify gives us that age range, and we're mostly in the 30s and 40s.
Nice.
Yeah. They also say that we're like 88% male listeners. We got to get that number up for females. Yeah, but that surprises me because we get a lot of engagement from our female listeners, like in the Discord. And
oh my God, when we did our 50th episode, there was, you know, when we said, okay, you know, Q&A, and then also, you know, there was a shill segment as well. You can kind of pitch your project. I would say most of the people that came up were females.
Yeah.
So that was pretty awesome. I was actually not expecting that. I was actually like pleasantly surprised. I was like, oh,
same. Yeah.
Yeah. It was good to see.
Yeah. Also this week, Elon Musk made a collage of Bored Apes as his Twitter profile. Did you see that?
Wasn't that the Bored Apes that were auctioned off?
I think so. I think it was the 101 that were, yeah. And his title was "These don't seem so fungible" or something. They don't look all that. Well, they look pretty fungible to me, is what he said.
Yeah. I didn't know what to make of that, but I mean, some people were like looking at the bright side, like, "Oh my God, Elon's, this Bored Apes as his profile picture," and then some people were like, "Oh, he's making fun of it. He doesn't understand." But I think Elon, he's a bit unpredictable with what he's going to tweet. So
you want to hear something funny that happened after he did that?
Yes.
The floor went from 105 to 120 in about 2 hours.
Oh, shoot.
Yeah. So like imagine, and there's I think MoonPay is sitting on a gold ape, and people are saying that might be his, but that's obviously just people trying to get it to. Yeah.
What is MoonPay doing sitting on a gold ape?
Because they like buy them and then they let them. I know, but give them, right.
Don't they give them away right away? Like, aren't they just like?
Yeah, I think they're sitting on a few. For? I think I know that's what everyone wants to know. Yeah, exactly. Exactly. Yep. If Elon actually bought an ape, it could like double the floor price.
That would be the ultimate top signal.
Yeah, right.
Like what it is like.
Pretty much.
With Dogecoin, when he went on SNL, that was literally the ultimate top signal. It went to what? Yep. Where did it go to? Like more than 69 cents or something, right?
Right.
Like, I kind of forget
the moment he started talking, it just
everyone was like selling and Yeah,
you're right. Probably would be the top signal. Speaking of top signals, Instagram is going to start supporting NFTs early as Monday for ETH, Polygon, Sol, and Flow.
What does that mean? Is that like with the Twitter thing, like where it's like,
so.
If you pay $3, you can have a verified NFT profile picture, and it's a hexagon instead of a circle.
Yeah. Is there any NFT action on Instagram? I don't go on Instagram.
I go on Instagram either. I don't even have. I used to be into Instagram, but I can only really handle one social media at a time. I know. So my thing is Twitter right now.
Yeah.
But yeah, that is interesting.
It's just, it's just going to bring awareness and like,
right.
We should probably actually get our podcast.
I think Andy had said he had, I remember early on, Andy's like, I secured every handle for every social media. Like he was like on top of it. Like,
I like your Andy impression. You should do that more often.
Some were Franklin's, LOL. Wait, what? Yeah. What were Franklin's? Now I forgot what we were talking about.
Oh, some of them were Elon's.
Elon's collage. Okay. Yeah. Interesting.
We already talked about VeeFriends Series 2 being the possible, in my opinion, a really good bet of something that you could do really well on in the long term, in the 6, 8, 10 months in a year. I think that's going to do really well. Yep, for sure. The Coinbase marketplace opened up and everybody went crazy for it, right?
You know what? First of all, obviously that was a joke. Yeah. But second of all, I actually got beta access to it. They're like, here's the special code. Like you can have beta access. Like, and everyone's like, oh, you need to get on so you can secure your username. And honestly, I literally did not care. I was like, I have no interest in going on there and even securing my username. Like I can only handle so many marketplaces. Like I don't need to jump on everything. Like probably somebody took Jenny from the blockchain, whatever. Like it's fine. Like, and then everyone's like, no, seriously, like you really need to get your username. Like, and I'm just like, I don't want to. I don't feel like it.
I snagged Keen on there, just straight up Keen. That's pretty good.
That's the perks of being early for platforms, that you think maybe have potential to do well. It's like you can secure usernames early.
Yeah. But really they picked the timing's everything. And they did not time that drop well with the way the market is. Like if they
and also I heard that it was like they really didn't have that many, features built out, and it was like very
it's not that great. I went on there, I don't know. I looked at it for a little bit and I was like, all right, whatever. And
the one thing which this brought a lot of attention, which maybe they intentionally did this for the attention, but everybody was talking about how there's comments and you can actually comment on people's NFTs, which of course right now is just a bunch of people trying to be funny, bashing, oh, yours is ugly and blah, blah. But
oh, I know, that's right.
You can comment on people's NFTs, which is an interesting thing because it's like, okay, that's going to turn into a lot of people shilling their own projects.
It's going to turn into that. And it's going to turn into like, why you selling this, you stupid idiot? Like,
imagine selling for a loss. People are just going to be like roasting. It's just, it'll be entertaining for a bit, but I think it'll kind of turn a bit sour. I don't know. Maybe
just the way everything does. Everything does.
Yeah.
People are anonymous. They say they'll say anything.
Right.
They'll say anything. Comments on social media from random people. Yeah. Like things they'd never say to anybody in real life.
Yeah, right. Yeah. It's just, if you wouldn't say it in real life, don't say it.
Don't. Yeah, exactly. Very true. Very true. One of the greatest builders in the space, Martin Van Blerk from Pixelmon. One
of the greatest builders in this space. That was good.
He actually did an actual interview, and you can Google it and watch it.
He showed his face and everything.
Yeah.
What?
Yeah. He's from New Zealand, and he says he got in above his head. Believe it or not.
Mm-hmm. Pixelmon. Yeah. That was the whole, by the way, Pixelmon was tons of red flags from the beginning with that project. But of course, people minted it out. It sold out anyway. And they promised big things. And then when the art revealed, that's how Kevin was born, the meme of Kevin. And just these things that did not look good at all.
That was a disgrace.
I'm surprised that actually takes a lot of guts to show yourself.
It does. I know. I think people knew who he was, but it takes a lot of guts to get out there and that was. And if people don't remember, they minted for 3 ETH, 10,000 of them. So it was.
That's right. That's why it was.
It was like $80 million.
Yeah,
and it. Went down to like 0.2 or 0.3. I don't even know what it's at right now, but that was actually one of the turning points in the whole space where people were like, you got to be careful what you're doing. Imagine how many people got wrecked. You lose $10,000, $20,000 doing something like that. You're done.
You're out of 0.3 right now, by the way.
0.3,
as an update.
I mean, you're out of the space if you lose that bad. A lot of people.
Oh yeah. A lot of people, if they get burned, they're out. That's the end of it for them, the end of the road. But I don't know. I would be curious to know. Who were the people buying these? Were they people that just were like, I don't care if this is bad, maybe it'll go up. I swear, sometimes people just. They know things are rugs and they know things are bad, but they just buy them anyway because they think that maybe it will go up and they can sell. I question the logic behind purchases.
And when exactly did it drop? I'm going to look and see.
Okay.
I mean, it dropped the beginning of February, and that was when everything was there were on February 7th, there were 2,400 sales, an average of 2 ETH, 2,400 sales.
Wow.
All those people are holding their bags.
Mm-hmm.
And it just, oh man, that's a shame.
Yeah.
Oh, so all this was happening before the reveal. And then the reveal happened and I see the sharp downturn. It's crazy. Yeah. There was a little bump up when Kevin got popular.
And people are just buying Kevin.
Yeah.
For the lulz.
That's a shame. No, I mean that one really hurt people because that's a lot of money.
Mm-hmm.
People definitely 3 ETH.
I have never spent 3 ETH on something. I've literally been in space for almost 2 years, and the most I've spent I think is 1 ETH. If I miss something, then I miss something. I can't bring myself to spend more than an ETH, and that's just super risky. But people have different risk tolerances, and people just do different things with their money.
For sure. And did you see that the Bankless podcast got banned from YouTube for a while today?
I did. When I saw that tweet, I clicked on it and it was back up. So
Okay.
yeah, it's back
Yeah.
now. But yeah, I guess
Yeah.
a couple hours it was gone.
Yeah. Yeah, I guess it's cool. They got it back because they had a lot of action on those tweets and they were like tagging the CEO of YouTube. Like, I don't know
Gosh.
why it got taken down. Maybe like somebody complained financial advice or whatever. I have no idea.
Mhm.
Carly's never left out. She's part of that ecosystem, I think, right?
Yeah,
Isn't
because
hers, like-
the overpriced JPEG show
Yeah.
is like hosted by like the
Right.
Bankless network. So yeah, they like post her episodes and everything on there. So
Yeah. Yeah. So that was an interesting little thing. And when I was searching for Google News on NFTs, like every article is like NFTs are down 90%, NFT volume is getting crushed, or NFTs dead. Like that's like all the articles.
Oh,
People
really?
love writing those articles. Yeah.
right.
Shame.
People love writing those.
Yeah. I mean,
Yeah.
like we said at the beginning of the episode, for me, I know this technology is going to be here. It's not still just going to be art and PFPs, but the blockchain, the NFT technology is going to be here to stay. And we need to keep learning and building and
Mhm.
and staying in it, for me at least. Like I have no concerns about that part of it going away. But there's going to be a lot of stuff that does not work out. A lot of businesses go bankrupt, businesses go out of business. These
Yeah.
projects are at this point considered businesses as
Mhm.
they drop. That's what people want. They want a business. They want a business plan.
100%. Yeah, I mean, yeah, you're right. It's just like in real life, and in Web 2, it's like people start businesses fail. Like it's
Yeah.
just normal, that just happens.
Yeah.
So
And it's just every one of these businesses gets a Kickstarter first,
yeah, they got money before they
Right.
even do anything.
Yeah.
And we are the ones funding the businesses.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're basically investors, although you're not supposed to be calling it an
Right.
investment. I don't know.
Right.
But yeah, we're basically investors and we're basically investing into all these startups.
Yep. Right. Right.
with
That's
our
what people
money.
are figuring out. That's what people are figuring out for sure.
Mhm. Wow,
So-
that was a lot of stuff that we went through.
Yeah,
today.
it sure was. It sure was.
Yeah.
Do you have anything else you wanted to bring up before we do the top 10?
I don't believe I do. I'm just trying
Okay.
to look through all my tabs to see if anything. I don't. Yeah, I'm good. I'm ready for the
Cool.
top 10.
All right. Well, other deeds is so what we do every week. If people don't know, it's the NFT collection rankings by sales volume over the last 7 days, and it includes a lot of different, blockchains, and we just like to kind of keep tabs on that. So, number one is Other Deeds, by far, almost 400 million in sales. The next one is going to be 84 million. So, Other Deeds is still gigantic volume.
Yeah.
Project PXN, which I haven't really looked too much into that one, but I've seen it a lot, and the floor is really high, and it's I think it's one of those access tokens that's like not like art, right?
I don't know that one, but I like briefly heard of it.
Yeah. Well, I gotta look it up. I don't even know which one it's on OpenSea. But that's number 2. So that project is really popular. We do need to look more into that. Bored Ape Yacht Club number 3, 74 million. So Project PXN had more volume than the apes. Beans, which was the Azuki add-on that revealed they had a lot of volume. Their volume was up 300% on the week. Number 5 is the Mutants. Number 6 is Doodles. 7 is Azuki. 8 is the OK Bears, which is the Solana project that has done amazing and still obviously is.
Okay, Bears. Yep. I heard about those. They're really
Yep.
popping off.
Yep. There's also another Solana. It's number 15, Mad Scientist. This might be the first time there were ever 2 Solana projects in the top 15.
Wow.
Yeah. So that's interesting. Clone X at number 9, Murakami Flower Seeds at number 10, and Moonbirds is number 11. And there were only 265 transactions in the last 7 days on the Moonbirds. So I don't know.
Yeah,
You might have been
things
right.
slowing down a bit as
Yeah.
they naturally should.
Yeah.
I mean, after a crazy run up that they had. it only makes sense for them to kind of come back down to earth a little bit.
Yeah. Art Blocks had a bit of a bump this week. It's at number 13. A lot of people were talking about Art Blocks, that their volume kind of picked up. CryptoPunks only had 34 transactions this week. Where's the floor?
CryptoPunks. I actually, you know how I said I listened to the podcast with Gary Vee. He had a short segment where he talked about NFTs, and one of the things he was saying was he's like, the only thing I feel comfortable, which by the way, he literally said that he had like 60 plus.
Yeah, he's got like 62 of them. Yeah.
Which is insane. And he was saying like, the CryptoPunks are the only like NFT I feel comfortable holding on to in 30 years from now.
Yeah.
I was like, oh, interesting. And I was actually listening back to our first, because Andy had posted a couple episodes. Like I said, I was on a road trip, so I was like listening to podcasts. Anyway, I got over the cringe embarrassment of listening to our first episode, and I listened to it. At least I listened to like 70% of it, and then I was like, okay, I can't do this anymore. But it was nice. It was nice, but I was like, okay, this is enough. But yeah, and anyway, we had said on there, oh, Gary just bought an ape punk. So you know how there's like, I don't know, there's like 8 or 9, or I forget how many there are of the ape punks. But he had bought an ape punk in that episode, and we were like all excited about it. And the floor for punks was like, oh, we had said, oh, somebody just swept the floor of punks and they bought like 30 plus, and the floor jumped all the way to like 30 something. Like, so the floor for punks was 30 something, and the floor for apes were 8.
Oh, that's
wild. So I was like, it was crazy to hear that one. You guys, if you want to listen to a little history news, the bonus flashback episode 1, check it out. It is pretty interesting to listen to, and just kind of like, wow, like, you know, this is the prices of some things, you know, this is what the big news was. Like, I think that's so fun to kind of go back and hear all that.
For sure. Punks is down to 56.45 right now.
Jeebus. That's crazy.
It was up as high as like 120 at its height, and Punks is probably a decent buy at some point. I don't know what the bottom is going to be.
Yeah, I remember when that was my dream NFT to have.
Yeah. Is it still or not really?
I would like to have one, but I don't think I'm really like, because I was thinking about that. I'm like, okay, the Doodles floor is 20 right now. What if the Doodles floor, basically became the same as the punk?
Would you flip for Doodle?
And it's like, no, I wouldn't. So,
Yeah. Hey.
I guess I found my punk and my Doodle. I guess my Doodle is like my punk that I wanted. So
yeah, I hear that. I itch every now and then to snag one of these, but I don't know. Not yet. I'm gonna keep watching.
Okay, yeah.
But eventually there's gonna be some news that comes out that probably shoots it up at some point.
Maybe.
Like, it'll come back. Especially if King Gary says it.
And with that, folks, we will end this episode number 55. Thank you all for tuning in. And oh man, okay, I need to remember on the next episode, I want to read our review. I don't like to read it at the end because I feel like some people might drop off, and I want people to hear the review. Anyway, thank you all for listening. We'll catch you in the next episode. Peace.
Thank you for tuning in to the NFT Catcher Podcast. We hope you enjoyed today's episode and learned something new about the exciting world of NFTs. If you enjoyed today's episode, please take a moment to subscribe to our podcast on Apple, Spotify, or wherever you listen to your podcasts. And if you really love what you're hearing, please leave us a rating and review on your favorite platform. If you want to stay up to date with the latest news and insights from the NFT space, be sure to follow us on all the socials at NFT Catcher Pod. You can follow Jennifer at Jennifer_pseudo and Michael at NFTicket. I'm your producer, Andy, and I'm at AJC254. Our theme song's by It's Just Los. We always appreciate your feedback and support, which helps us reach more people and bring you informative and engaging content about NFTs. We look forward to bringing you more great NFT content in future episodes. Thanks for listening. Peace.